Welcome and good morning. I started that back. I was say good morning. Could be good afternoon or good evening. So I'll start my good over again. And welcome to Vibe Rides. Thanks for joining us today. And if you're new to Vibe Rides and this is the first time you're tuning in, my name is Scott Bachland, and I'm Executive Vice President for Vibe Rides. And we're going to be taking you through our driver's update today. This is a segment that we do every day on Tuesdays and Thursdays, giving you the latest updates on what's going on in Vibe Rides. And we do this especially for you, our drivers. So the last time we got together was, that was last Thursday. Hope everybody had a good weekend. So I'm gonna show you where I was this weekend. Okay, hang on here. There's my weekend. What do you think of that? That's where I was this weekend. Looks a little, looks a little cold, doesn't it? That looks a little bit cold. And if I was choosing my vibe, I don't think I'd choose my vibe to be there. I would probably want to look at something more like this. That's much better. That's a much better vibe. Nice sunny, no snow. But yes, I was in the snow this last weekend. I'm going to take myself back into the Vibe office. There we go. Get back to the office. I hope everybody else had a good weekend. Hope some people got some rides in it. It looks like we did. So we've got some riders and some drivers out there. So let's just jump right into it today. So Angela, let's start with the slides. And we'll get the slides here. So Angela's bringing up those slides just a thought for everybody out there. Make sure you get through that process. Make sure you sign up. Make sure you get through the process of being a driver. It looks like things are turning around a little bit for us here and getting things opened back up from an economic standpoint. And it looks like we'll be seeing some stuff hopefully break through here in the next few weeks. So make sure you get through the process and get ready to drive. And thanks for everybody for being on the call. We've got some loyal fans, loyal drivers that are with us every Tuesday and Thursday. So again, Vibe Rides update. For our Spanish Zoom line, 443-186-957, if you would love to listen to this call in Spanish. Okay, we can move on to the next slide, please, Angela. Okay, as we start every meeting, we always talk about a disclaimer. Sometimes we talk about money when we're on this presentation, and we just want to make sure everybody realizes that we're not making any claims or guarantees to levels of income. And that's simply that everything that's going to happen is to your success is going to depend on your commitment and effort. And with that, let's go on to the next slide, Angela. Okay, so one of our biggest features that we do every day on Tuesdays and Thursdays is to make sure that you're current on what's going on with the software, making sure you've got the current releases, anything else that we fixed recently based on your comments. And it's an important part of our presentation every Tuesday and Thursday. So I just want to make sure that everybody understands that. And Angela, I'm going to turn it over to you now. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, Vibe Rides Nation. Welcome back to the call. And yes, just like Scott, thank you, Scott. Just like Scott mentioned, we are here to give you updates. Updates are good. They're really good, because what's happening is things are getting better. We're growing, we're improving. It's called innovation. And so it's really, really important that you have these updates. It's like sometimes on your phones, you're going to get an update and sometimes you don't feel like doing it. But guess what? You have to, because if you want a better phone, you want a more efficient phone, you have to do your updates. Same with your computer, right? So you want the best tools to be successful. And this is why updates are so important. So let's go through them real quick here. All right. First thing is our latest software version. So if you have a driver app, which most of you do, you should be at 48 today. And of course, most likely, and I'm pretty definite, by the end of today, you'll be higher than 48. Your rider app is at version 58. So see, there's a lot of updates coming through because we want to improve people's experience. And of course, choose your vibe. We want you to have a great vibe. So that's why the updates, okay? All right, so we have some details in regards to updates, okay? So I'm gonna go through them with you and explain what we've done. Of course, we're doing a lot more, but let's go through them now. So the reports on the receipts are incorrect, and we're actually gonna show you a screen of that to show you all the receipts that are coming through on the driver app to show you what the discrepancies are. So we'll do that in detail in a minute. We've gotten some input from the field, and thank you very much for everyone out there who's sending in their inputs and any challenges they're having out in the field. And one of them happens to be the app keeps logging off. So what happens is both the rider and the driver, if it's sitting idle for a while and you go back, it was closing. So what we did was we fixed that bug. So now, even if you're logged in and you go to do something else, or you have a phone call come in, it will not log you off. You will stay in, and it's going to keep working for you. Okay? You'll be seeing your earnings by the end of the day or first thing in the morning. So this is pretty cool. I know a lot of people have been waiting to see their earnings. And again, part of the bugs that's coming through is we are keeping track of everything. We're keeping track of every single detail in regards to your ride, in regards to your earnings, and we have that information. But there's another part of the app, which is called the front end, the UX of the app, which shows and displays. So what's happening is it's not connecting and it's not displaying properly. And so we are fixing that as well. So you'll be seeing that very, very soon, and that's exciting. Adding vehicles bug has been fixed. So we've had some individuals putting in their VIN numbers and an error was coming up saying mismatch. So that's been fixed as well. We will have a longer ping when you receive a ride notification. Awesome. So if you're busy, you're either on the phone or you're talking to someone and a ping comes in, people were missing their pings. So what we did was we're going to lengthen the ping, or it's going to be a little bit more continuous, so it's more than once. That way you don't miss any rides. So we fixed that. We will not have a sign-in button rather than a register. Okay. Well, we will have a sign-in button rather than a register button. So every time someone goes into, as you know, whether it's a rider or the driver. So when you were going in to verify your phone number, what was happening is you would see register. And so people were getting confused and saying, am I registering or what's happening? I'm already in the system. So we fixed that. It is now a sign-in. So if you already are in the system, you will be clicking on a sign-in, not a register button. But of course, if you are registering for the first time as a rider or as a driver, it will say register. Okay, GPS positioning fix. So between the rider and the driver, that wasn't accurate. So we fixed that GPS positioning, and that's been fixed as well. That's been coming through. So make sure you're getting your over the air, okay? Get the most up to date, close your app, open your app, or delete your app and download it again to make sure you're up with the latest version. Choose your vibe was not descriptive. So this is on the rider side. So what we did was the icons where they choose their vibe, whether it's the temperature, if they want a conversation or not, all those details or the type of music, it will literally say underneath in very small font. The new update will describe exactly what those icons mean, because some people didn't know what the icons meant, and we wanted to make sure we gave them that detail. So that's been done on the rider side, of course. It's part of choosing your vibe. We wanted them to have a great experience. Profiles are open to make changes. If you have not yet been approved and gotten through the whole system and the whole registration, profiles are accessible now. Please go in, update your info, put all your information in there so you can finish registering. You have access unless you've been approved. And if you have been approved, that means you've finished your registration. You will have to send in an email to our customer amazement team to let them know that you want to make changes so we can review and get you into the system. Otherwise, it's ready for you to go in there and make those changes if you need to update anything. Rider can now rate the driver, and that's really important. That's part of your star rating, and your star ratings are really important. If you're going to give great customer service, we want to make sure the rider can inform us of that and let us know what a great job you're doing. So that's been updated. And drivers getting notification of a ride in their area while offline. Okay, so we've had riders that were offline that were getting push notifications. It wasn't the actual ping, but they were getting messages to their phone telling them there's a ride in their area while they're offline. So we fixed that. So if you're offline and you're resting and you're doing something else, that's not going to push through until you get back online. Okay, so that's the updated updates for now. And then I have one more update before we go through this trip receipt. One more update on inspections and service stations. Well, the great news is we have companies out there nationwide who want to help you as a driver and make inspections accessible. So we will have those details for you on Thursday's call. We have companies nationwide and service stations that are willing to provide a 19-point inspection for under $20. So that's good. That's great news. Just wanted to let you all know, but we'll have specifics for you on Thursday. All right. This is the trip receipt that I first talked about just a few minutes ago. So this is the detailed or semi-detailed. The reason why it's up there is because we wanted to show you that, yes, we know it's not accurate. So again, the messaging from the back system to the front system is not connecting. And so that communication, there's a little gap and we're fixing that. And on top of that, we want to let you know it'll be more detailed than this, okay? So as you can see, these numbers aren't accurate. So yes, thank you for letting us know. We understand that. We have all your information. We know what's happening out in the field. We know about your earnings, and we know that the receipts are not accurate. So we are fixing that. It should push out later today, if not first thing in the morning. But again, we will go through in detail on Thursday, because I know this is an important part for you, and we wanted to let you know we're aware, and it's important to us too. We will share all the details in regards to your earnings and the breakdown on Thursday's call, okay? Including the receipt. We'll give you an idea of what all that means and give you the details you need to be able to see that in your app. Okay, and we have a ride that was videotaped. So we have Mario, and I hope Mario, I'm saying your last name correctly, Mario Hulkier, our road warrior out there. You know, Mario's been out there working really hard in helping people and providing them great customer service and helping other drivers register, and we're thankful for that. He is a team player, most definitely working hard to make sure helping you be successful. And he had a ride that he videotaped, and so we're going to show that to you. He sent that in to us, and we're going to share it so you can have a little peek on what's happening behind the scenes with Vibe Rides. And Mark, I think Mark's going to cue that up.
Hi guys, we're on our first Vibe Ride. My name's Armani. I am from Los Angeles, but we're currently in Houston, Texas, near the Galleria area, and this is my first ever Vibe Ride, so stay tuned.
So hey guys, we got Armani here, who has allowed us to videotape her, right Armani?
Yes, of course.
And we are going to put her on YouTube explaining to everybody how her first experience is on a Vibe ride. So what do you think about this new ride share in Texas, Armani?
First off, I think it's very reasonable. So I'm going about 2.7 miles and my ride was approximately $8. I think that was really cool, very cheap. The car is so clean, very spacious. spacious. I'm not cluttered. The AC feels really good in it. They were very fast, so I found the driver within less than 15 seconds. A driver popped up, which is really cool, and they have really good incentives. So they do weekly drawings. The first one is if you do 4 rides, you can get a drawing into a trip to Cancun, which is amazing. Like, who don't want to go to Cancun? So I think it's really cool. I'm enjoying my ride. My driver is amazing, and I feel like he's my best friend already. So.
Well, we are friends. You know, I signed her up last week on the first day of Vibe Rides, and this week through the month of April, we're giving away a trip to Cancun every time a rider rides on a Vibe Ride. So anyway, we're on our way. Let me get back to driving Armani to her destination. You guys take care, and we'll see you next time.
Hey guys, my name's Armani. So I'm on my first ever Vibe Ride. It's really cool. I met one of my drivers a couple days ago. His name's Mario, and we've been doing this really good ride, and we're on it right now. So this is cool. They do have promotions. So the first promotion that they do have is weekly drawings, which is so dope. So I'm relaxing in my Vibe Ride. It's really cool, very clean, really relaxing. The AC is amazing in this Houston hot heat. I think it's really cool. I'm very comfortable based this car. And now we're on a trip, so let's see how it goes.
Joe gets stuff done. Joe helped me manage H1N1 and prevent the Ebola epidemic from becoming the type of pandemic we're seeing now. He helped me restore this.
Okay, here we go. So that was fun. Armani had a good time. She was happy. This is phenomenal, but I do want to point out one thing. We are giving away trips. Every time you ride, you get into a draw so that we can draw a trip. And if you win, but not every time you ride, you win a trip. Geez, I'd be riding like every 5 minutes because I want to go on vacation. But in this, I just want to make sure that you can get into a draw every time you do get a ride. And for the month of April, we are giving away a trip to Cancun for 2, no airfare, but it's every time you ride, you get into a draw. And if you win, you get to go to Cancun. So I just wanted to clarify that. Okay, so let's see what the next slide is. Okay, the independent representative logo, very important thing, right? The reason why we're sharing this with you is because we have to be and we must be in compliance. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because we have the overdrive representatives that have access to this tool. We are going to talk about it today because we're talking a little bit about compliance. And compliance is very important. Just like safety is important to us, so is compliance. We take that very seriously. And so for you to be able to get on social media and tell the world about Vibe Rides, we are very excited. We're happy you want to do that. I know you want to tell everyone. You want to put it all over social media. You want to do it in your Zooms. That's amazing. And we appreciate you for wanting to share the excitement and this opportunity with everyone. But we also have specific social media and branding compliance processes that we do. And this is one of them. Independent Rep Vibe is a tool that we provide that you will have access to, that you can use for all your branding if you're an overdrive representative. So I'm going to go through some rules because I even actually have to read them because I want to be very specific in regards to them. So, okay, our logo is proprietary. And our logo, just like any other logo out in the market, that means that includes any other rideshare company out there, you cannot use their logo, whether it's on social media, on on any type of branding, on any type of brochures. In a Zoom, you cannot use other logos, rideshare or whatever other company. Even as an example, you can't do that. That's a violation of their compliance, and that's a violation of our compliance, again, if you're using our logo. If you're going to use our logo, this is the logo you'll have to use. Also, if you have a funnel out there in social media world, if you are using a funnel, that is great. I know you're trying to get the word out there and tell the world about Vibe Rides. But again, if you are a Overdrive representative, you'll have to use the independent representative Vibe logo. You also cannot use any other rideshare company in your verbiage, even if it's text. Even if it's not a logo, you can't use it in the text either. Okay, so that's a violation of their compliance, and it's very seriously. You don't want to get sued, and a lot of companies are very protective over their identity, just like you are. You're protective over your identity. You don't want someone taking your identity, and so basically, if you do that, that's what you're doing. That's what you would be doing, and you'd be in violation. So it's really important. Also, logos. If you're going to use a funnel or you're going to create a website of some sort, it represents you and only you. It doesn't represent Vibe Rides. So in regards to colors, you will have to choose colors other than blue and purple. Why? Because you don't want to be misleading. You want to tell the world about Vibe Rides, but it's you that you're branding. You want to tell the world about what you can offer, and you are not Vibe Rides. You represent, in a sense, indirectly, so you can't use the colors as well. And what else? Distributor logo, we've got that. Other logos, definitely not. What else? You need to put your contact information as well on your funnel pages, okay? So any other information that you have. Why? Because they need to contact you directly. We also don't want to mislead them and let them know or make them think that it's a Vibe Rides doing this type of funnel. It is you, and you must put your contact information, but not in tiny little hidden in between the text. Let them know this is your web. Be proud. This is your website. This is your funnel. You are putting that out there. You want to talk to them. They want to talk to you. You need to put your contact information so they can contact you in regards to your page, okay? So don't mislead them, okay? And another thing I wanted to talk about is misleading people in regards to markets. Please understand, we are excited too. We want to be out there. We want to share Vibe Rides with the whole world, but we also have to follow processes and protocols, which means we are in certain markets because we are licensed to be in those markets. There's a reason why we're doing it that way, because that's how regulations work. So the markets we are in right now are Houston, Texas. That's Harris County. Dallas, Fort Worth, that's the only other city in Texas. So it's Houston and Dallas, Fort Worth. We are not in any other city in Texas, okay? We are in Florida, and the specific regions we are in Florida are Tampa, Orlando, Fort Lauderdale, which is Broward County, and we are in Miami, which is Miami-Dade County. We are not in any other regions in Florida. The reasons why is licensing, permits, regulations. There's very specific rules that the states have, and actually the counties as well. In some states, the counties are very regulated. So we have to make sure we stay within the rules because we want to follow the rules, right? So be really aware of that. And we will be the first to tell you if we're going to be in any other market. We are not in any other market. We are only in the markets currently. We are excited about being in other markets, and we will let you know once we do the process and our due diligence. But please do not announce it in any Zooms, on any website, on any of your social media branding that we are in any other market, because we are not. We will be definitely working towards growing into other markets, but at this time, those are the only regions we are in. And that's the compliance component. It's not a fun component because there's rules, but we need to set rules in order to be successful. And we together can do this. We can grow, but we got to grow in a certain way where we're compliant with the states and you're compliant with us as a company. Okay, so that is all I have today. Scott, I think you're up. Let me see what the next, yes, you are up, Scott.
Great. Thank you, Angela. And thank you for going through those topics. Very informative on the software features and updates and also on the compliance side. And while we're on the compliance side, let me just make one other comment. We always do a disclaimer at the beginning of our presentation, and we do it at the end related to guarantees. And here's why. I'm going to see if I can do this in an analogy for you that you would understand. So let's just assume you have a baseball team. If you have a baseball team, I can explain to you how to score a run. I can tell you you've got to get a player to first base, to second base, to third base, and get them touch home plate. And if you do all those things in less than 3 outs, you can actually score a run and actually get a run scored. But what I can't tell you is how many runs you're going to score in every baseball game. That's going to depend on the quality of your team that you got on the field. That's going to rely and be dictated based on how hard they train, how hard they work at doing their specific skills. So it's no difference when we talk about how you get paid and what your earnings are, is we can tell you the calculation, we can tell you how you can earn $1, but we cannot at any time tell you how much you're going to actually make. It all depends on you. It depends on how hard you work. It depends on your knowledge base, and it depends on your effort. So I just want to make that clear, is that so people always ask, why do we do that? And that's why. We give the disclaimer because we can't tell you how much. We can explain it to you, but I just want to emphasize that as it relates to the compliance side also. Okay, on to driver recognition. Woohoo! Always a fun part. Okay, next slide, please, Angela. Okay, we've talked about this. This is our fun thing we're going to do for the drivers. I'm just going to skip over this briefly again today in case there's anybody new on the call. I'm just going to go over it briefly, and I'll explain them again today. And then on Thursday, we're going to kick off all of these contests starting Friday, which would be the 17th. And we're going to run those through, and we'll be able to announce those on a weekly basis. So first of all, we had the Monaco Grand Prix. For those of you who've been on the call before, the Monaco Grand Prix is we're going to look for the top drivers based on how many rides they actually completed in a week. How many rides? We're going to give you the top 3 drivers for the week, for the month, for the quarter, for the year. We'll give you the top 3, and we're going to have some programs and some awards set out that we can announce on Thursday to you. We also have Le Mans, and Le Mans, we're basically looking for mileage, on the road mileage. Who's the road warrior? Who's out there basically driving? Same thing as the Monaco Grand Prix. We're going to be going through the top 3 people every week. And then one of my favorite ones is pole position. So with pole position, it's going to be a monthly contest that we're going to have. And pole position, we are going to rate all aspects of the drive, from what your rating is as a driver. What did you get scored as a driver will be a big part of it, along with how many miles you drive and how many trips you take. And we'll have the pole positioners who our top 3 drivers are every month. All right, on to the next slide, please. Okay, so April promotions. Let's hit the April promotions. Okay, so this is the one that Angela just mentioned. This is the Ride and Win. All right, every week we're giving away an all-exclusive 4-day, 3-night vacation in Cancun without airfare. Not every rider gets it. You get to go into a drawing for it. And I think we have more on the next slide, Angela. Yes, take a ride, you get an entry. Every ride will count as another entry. We do a random drawing every week. So we did the random drawing for today. While Angela was going through the software updates, our Director of Customer Amazement, Mr. Frederick Grimm, and I actually did the drawing. Now, this is actually quite comical. You heard Mario on the call today say, oh, and Mario, by the way, I owe you a cap. I owe you a cap, Mario, so make sure you get your information in. If you remember, I said the first 10 videos we get in, we'll give you a Vibe Rides cap. So Mario, make sure we have your mailing address, and we're going to shoot that cap out to you right away today. But here's the funny thing. I noticed that we said that not everybody who takes a ride actually wins a trip. Believe it or not, with the drawing today, Armani, I won't get the name right, so help me, Angela. Is it Armani, or how do you say the name? Anyways, Mario's rider won the trip.
Armani.
Can you believe that?
Her
Can you
name
believe
is
that?
Armani.
Armani. Okay, so I got that right. Armani actually won the trip today, so I actually think that was quite comical that she actually won the trip today. So congratulations to her, and then Angela, you can, or Mark can reach out to her as to the details of the trip. So that's pretty exciting. So for you riders, like we said, great opportunity here in the month of April. And again, this comes from our branding and marketing partner, iBoomerang. And this is what they did, a program they put together for us at Vibe Rides to make sure we can get riders coming in. So Armani, congratulations. Mario, you'll get a cap. So wow, that ride was a twofer. That was a twofer. Okay, let's click on to the next one, please, Angela. Okay, again, we're sitting here today. It is April 14th. If you complete 25 rides in the month of April, you get a Vibe Ride bundle. And let's go to the next slide, and we're going to take a look at what's in that Vibe Ride bundle. So you're going to get a thermos, you're going to get 3 types of shirts, you're going to get the Vibe baseball cap. In total, we've got a value here of about $200, $200 in all this 5-year. We're doing 25 rides in a month. We're on the 14th. That leaves us what? We got 15, 16 days left for 25 rides. That's a ride a day, maybe a little bit more. So hopefully for most of you out there, you're going to be able to get this done in the month of April. Very big promotion from our CEO, Mr. Holton Buggs. So wow, that's quite the Vibe Bundle Gear is quite an offer out there. 25 rides in the month of April. And on to the next slide, please. I think we'll get the next slide. Also, don't forget the Vibe 5 driver promotion. And again, for people that are new on the call, when you complete your initial 5 rides, you get your first 5 rides done, we're going to give you a $50 reward. So initial 5 rides, get a $50 reward. You must maintain a driver rating of 4.2. Got to have a rating of 4.2, and you get the opportunity for a $50 reward. Okay. On to the next one, please, Angela. Okay, just a reminder to everybody, we're going to be on every Tuesday, every Thursday at 11 o'clock, giving tips for everybody here who are drivers. Some people have asked about overdrive. We're really focused just on the drivers here right now on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's what we'll do. We'll be back on Thursday. We'll have more information. We'll have more updates. Thank you for everybody for tuning in today. Great to have you there. I apologize. I'm a little bit stuffed up today. I've got a bad case of the allergies. So I apologize for that. But again, thanks so much for tuning in. And like I said, get out there and get your information in. Get your information in. Get through the process. Get your background check done. Get your vehicle through. Be ready to go. As we're starting to see what the news is telling us, it looks like stuff's turning around here. And things should pick up a little bit. Hopefully it'll pick up for us. So let's look at that for everybody out there. Things that should be getting back to a little bit more normal. So again, we'll see you on Thursday. Thanks so much for tuning in today. Be smart, be safe. Thank you very much.